Deep in the shadows, I know it's hard to put one foot in front of the other.
Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is CeeChronicles. If you're joining this channel for the very first time, I post fragrance related content on this platform and would very much appreciate it if you did decide to join us by subscribing. Now, to those who are already subscribed, thank you so much guys for the continued support. I also have a second channel, CeeChronicles Unscripted. The link of that channel is in the description. I'm also going to leave a little picture there on the side for ease of reference. Now, a quick one guys before we get into this review. Let me just update you about what's been happening. I was missing in action from time to time, but I try to make sure that you guys don't get affected by it by pre-recording part of my March content at the end of April. That was because I was scheduled for surgery at the first week of March. So the content that has been rolling was pre-recorded and I was not really able to answer all the comments and stuff like that, but I will catch up to that. Reason why I did that guys is YouTube has got this thing where the algorithm, if you're not that present, will kind of shelve you a little bit, and coming back is like a crank up of things. So I was trying to avoid that. So I didn't want to come out from the woodwork after being absent for 2 weeks or something like that because I was ill. So I am still in recovery. I am still under doctor's bed rest, but I am able to throw in videos from time to time. So thank you to everybody who wished me well, and to those who said rest, thank you. I understand that. I wish I could, but I had medical bills to sort out, so I had to make sure that all my work is not disturbed. Anyway, as for today, we have December Vanilla. I bought this one because of this one. Now this one is a clone of Kaheela's Vanilla Royale Sugared Patchouli, which was a limited edition, so that could be discontinued. So for those who are looking for that, it will interest you maybe to try this fragrance. Those listed for it are identical to that of Sugared Patchouli. There's rum, vanilla, orchid and jasmine at the top, and the mid of it is vanilla, spicy notes, leather and tonka bean, rose and creme brulee. I'm reading them off here. And the base is going to be brown sugar, amber, oud, patchouli, sugar and musk. So this is going to have a double dose of sugar as well as a double dose of vanilla, right? Inspired by that Vanilla Royale, right? And from the house Paris Corner. Okay, and I do have the original in my collection, so I kind of have a mental shortcut of what's going on or what to expect. So this is not like a shocker, and it's not a first impressions anyway. The opening of this fragrance is not as loud as what I get from Vanilla Royale Sugared Patchouli. That one opens up that rum doing the most, and the patchouli a bit sharp. This, whether it is the way Paris Corner decided to do it or that is just how it ended up coincidentally interpreting, is this gives you a serving of everything in one go, right? And this particular explanation is very important because I feel maybe the Vanilla Royale was a limited edition because it was challenging because of that or something like that. It has notes that are very piercing, and with that particular fragrance you get to the enjoyable part after about 45 minutes or so, whereas with this one I get a presentation of a softened feel of everything. Not to say it's a shy fragrance. It's not. It's going to give you woodsy, boozy. That rum is going to be evident there. The patchouli is going to be loud, but it's not going to be spiky and piercing. It's going to give you an underlying leathery, texture to it, and you are outright going to feel that this is a complex fragrance. It doesn't smell like, like a gazillion fragrances on the market. So this is one of the daring ones. And the composition, the mix in itself is so intoxicating to an extent that you'll either love this or you don't. Or it's going to be one of those that you're drawn to, or you go in, you spray it, and you want to think about it, and after that you think, I think it's nice. Okay. But what I can say 100 is it doesn't have, that meandering thing that you get from the original, where if you went into a store, you sprayed it like that, you don't know what to make of it. You don't know whether you want to purchase it or whatever. And then say you're driving home 45 minutes or so, you've sprayed it on a piece of paper or on yourself or on your arm or something. You start to think, you start to ask yourself, what's that? It's smelling nice. And it's that fragrance, This one gives you that immediately, right? Less sharpness, less alcohol burst, but evident in the fact that it does have the rum. And the rum note in this you're going to carry all through. Same as the patchouli. So it's another one that I'm not going to say, oh, no, this one is so toned down when it comes to the patchouli. All I'm saying is the patchouli is not very piercing. It's there working together with the spices and the woods and the oud there, but presenting as like a softened roundup, especially of that creme brulee that comes into the mix there, giving everything like a creamy feel, thus softening it. And then making that patchouli work more towards tying this fragrance for longevity than making it just patchouli, patchouli, patchouli. If at all that makes sense. I hope I didn't lose you there, right? So I'm saying the patchouli is there, right? But it's not squishy because it comes rounded up in that, especially creme brulee note and the vanilla note, and that vanilla has also is working together with a double dose of that brown sugar. Now, I swear, before I purchased Vanilla 28 from Kaheela, I wouldn't have been able to describe how the brown sugar note smells. But after purchasing the Vanilla 28, and no, this is inspired by Vanilla Royale. I'm not losing it here. I'm just trying to explain something to you. After, purchasing Vanilla 28, it has that distinct sugar note that you can identify with. And it's not white sugar. It's definitely, a brown sugar. And that note you're going to get in this as well, and you get it in the Vanilla Royale sugared patchouli. So there is that distinct brown sugar note that works in this fragrance, identical again in the original fragrance and in Vanilla 28. So in case you haven't smelt that sugared patchouli, the Royale one, the limited edition, just know that they're going to have like a similar vanilla sugary thing going on there. Difference being Vanilla 28 remains about vanilla sugared patchouli, which is the one that this one is drawing inspiration from, then gives you a serving of like a host of spices, a Middle Eastern kick there, a fair enough oud, right? Like a fairly polite oud. I have used fragrances with a way harsher oud than this particular one. This doesn't make it about like a very oudy situation. However, if you are not accustomed to the way some of these fragrances are taking this direction where they can be odd and stuff, it may come across as a mix that's doing a little bit too much there, because some of you will like that aromatic tone, will like that spicy tone, and some of you are going to think it's too much. The one thing that makes this one more beautiful, that creamy wrap up of everything, and of course that patchouli that is not really pushing it to the limit, but it is also the same patchouli that is going to leave some of the ladies saying this is 70% masculine, especially mixing with the leather, mixing there with like an underlying smokiness coming from the wood and the oud, and then mixing of course with what is it? Is there tonka in here? I think, yeah, mixing with the tonka. So that mix will make some ladies who are not too big on fragrances that are not mainstream say this one is masculine tone, but I get a unisex fragrance here, especially that beautiful creamy wrap up. So yeah, guys, I am impressed, and this hasn't even macerated, so it's probably even gonna get better with time. And if I'm to compare the two, not that they are the same, I'm just comparing them based on the fact that Paris Corner packaged them in the same bottle, right? This one inspired by Fenty and this one inspired by the Kaheela one. I'm gonna say this December vanilla nails what it's going for. It's unmistakable. It is a fragrance that, say, you cannot get the Vanilla Royale because obviously that was a limited edition. Buying this is not going to disappoint you at all. It doesn't miss the mark like this, to an extent, where this feels like it's going for Fenty, and if I'm to put a percentage, I'm gonna say 50% feels like it's going for Fenty, but it kind of misses the thick concentration of how Fenty interprets and has that light blueberry note there, this one. So this gives you 50% in terms of representation, but this guys, I think it could also be the fact that this is just Middle Eastern in terms of the DNA in itself, and Paris Corner being a Middle Eastern company didn't have a problem tuning this one up to make sure that it matches. So yeah, it is scarily close. Lasting power for this one is great. It is magnetic on the skin. my skin doesn't eat it up. I can smell it very active, even 5 hours in on the clothes. It lasts till the next wash. So it's a good one, considering that it's still new in my collection. And obviously, if it's going to thicken, it's going to become something better. The sweetness, for those who are concerned, because I said it's got a double dose of sugar as well as the vanilla, is moderate. It's more to do with like a rounded sweetness feel of the spices than it is of the actual sugar itself, right? In as much as I said it has a sugar that is similar to vanilla 28, that brown sugar note, it doesn't come across as sweet, like a distinct sweetness. It's like just a sugary wrap up of everything, not making this one like a sticky sweet or syrupy sweet type of fragrance. It's more to do with a heightened patchouli that is not sharp, that's tying it to make sure that everything is thick and has weight. You know, the woods there that are playing around with everything to make sure that it has that exotic feel, a light oud, a light Middle Eastern tone, and a rummy wrap up to everything. So you're going to carry a boozy fragrance all through. But yeah, kudos, guys. I love this. I love this so much. My little sugared patchouli is a mini. And after this, I don't think I'm going to need, the full size, honestly speaking, because this one is good. And as for weather, guys, this comes across to my nose as a fragrance that's ideal for cooler to cold weather, cold evenings, special occasions, that sort of thing. CeeChronicles is my name. Thank you so much for joining me today. Let's meet in the comment section where we'll discuss more about fragrances. Let me know if you do have this fragrance or if you are contemplating buying this fragrance. If what I have said here is something that, has drawn interest in you purchasing this fragrance, I would love to know. While you're at it, do turn on post notifications, guys, on both my channels. That way you get to be notified anytime I upload a video. Like and share this video. And remember that smelling good is a form of good manners. Cheers.